Hi, beautiful teachers. Happy Tuesday. It's great to be chatting to you again in another Tuesday teaching chat. Today's chat is all about the sticky, icky, tricky business of your piano studio business. Okay, so maybe some of you are like, business, no problem, that's nothing to me. But I know a lot of you maybe avoid this a little bit when it comes to your business. You kind of put the business part off to the side, concentrate on the pedagogy and the fun games and all that stuff. So these are the 5 things that I want you to get sorted ASAP. Number 1 is the billing within your piano studio business. Now, if you've already sorted this for yourself, great job, high five. Awesome. If you haven't, now is a great time to start, because any time is a great time to start. The thing about billing is if you bill lesson to lesson, you're sending a message to your piano parents and your adult students that says, think about it this way. I'll give you an example. I do dancing on Tuesday night. So tonight I'll be going to my dancing class. My dancing teacher charges €10 per lesson, and we pay that directly into a box in the dance class, okay? Now this sends a message to me, because if I didn't go tonight, I didn't go last week, for example, because I was doing a mastermind in the inner circle and it was at night, so I had to miss dancing. I didn't go. I didn't go and pay him the €10 or send it to him later. Why would I? That would be crazy. So that's the message it sends to you. You don't have to pay for that. That's the message you're sending to parents if you are charging lesson to lesson. If they're coming in and you're saying €30 please, $30, whatever it costs, you're saying to them, you're paying me for these 30 minutes. And if we don't have this 30 minutes, whoever's fault that is, then you don't pay me. That's what they'll assume, because that's what you would assume if you were in my position. Now, I have done dance classes where we've paid for a term, 10 weeks. If I don't go to that dance class, I don't ask for my money back. That would also be crazy. That would be really weird. Why would I ask for that money back? The dance class still happened. Even if no one showed up that week, the dance teacher still did. So she should be paid for that time. And that's the message you need to send, because that's the way we want our studios to run for the most part. Unless you're, say, a gigging musician and you need that flexibility yourself, that's a different situation. If it's going to be beneficial to you to have that cancellation mindset, then that's fine. But chances are it's not. You don't want your students to not pay you some weeks, right? Just because they couldn't make it. So if that's the case, I want you to implement either a monthly or semester or both billing policy. It should be a setup that if it's monthly, they pay the same amount every month. They're not paying for those 30 minutes. They're paying for all the stuff that you do. So make sure to get it sorted. And I know you might have heard this a bunch of times, but if you haven't done it yet, I want to urge you to just set aside the time to plan when you'll put this into place. It won't necessarily even be this January. If that doesn't fit, an academic year is a better time to start with a new policy like this. So if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, it might not make any sense to do it in January. It might not make any sense to do it soon. But if you don't have a good billing policy, I want you to write in the comments when you're going to make this plan to implement it and when you're going to implement it, because it has to get fixed. And if you do have a great billing policy, share in the comments what a difference it has made, because other teachers need to hear from you. Okay. Next is the policies. So the actual studio policies. Now, I think, this is my personal philosophy, I think that simpler is better. And I think less is more when it comes to policies. I don't think we should expect policies to cover every instance. I think you need to deal with that with proper communication. But policies should be there to inform parents of the main things that they normally get wrong or have misconceptions about the way it's going to work. So that could be makeup lessons. That could be punctuality. Maybe they often arrive 5 minutes late and expect you to still do 45 full minutes instead of 40 because that's what's remaining of the time. So little things like that, you need to clearly spell them out in your policies. But what does not go in your policies are these things that almost never come up, but sometimes do. Maybe once a year with one parent. No, that's not good enough. That doesn't cut it. That doesn't make it into your policies. My policies are literally 1 page. That's it. And they're very simple. They're very clearly worded. You can actually get a sample of them on Tim Topham's site. So if you want to go over there, go to timtopham.com/episode113 and you'll get, there's a box there where you can fill in your details to get that policy sample. And that includes my policies and Sarah Campbell's and Tim's. And it's a really great thing to do if you need to set up your policies. So again, if you don't have great studio policies, you're not happy with them, something is wrong, or they're too long, I want you to book in a time with yourself that you're going to sort it. Don't just say, yeah, I'll put that on my to-do list. I want an actual time on your calendar that you're going to sort this. Okay, number 3 in the icky, sticky business issues is parent communication. So again, this needs to be a plan where at a regular interval you email your parents, maybe you write report cards, but something happens that you know you have to do at a certain interval, because otherwise I think we can just let it slide. We have so much stuff going on, but this is really important. So I want you to put into your calendar, set a reminder that maybe on the 1st of every month you go through and you email all your piano parents to let them know how their kid is getting on. Or maybe every 10 weeks you're going to write a report. That's what I do. And I email that to my piano parents. And that's in my schedule. I don't let that slide because it's part of my system. Speaking of systems, number 4 is that I want you to get organizational systems in place. Okay, this is really important, that it's a system. So when people complain about not being organized and all this, I think they think that some people are just tidy and some people are messy. And I think that's kind of true. But what they don't realize is I'm one of the messy ones. I'm extremely messy by nature. But I put systems in place that means that I look organized, okay? Because if you have that system, you can just put things into the system on autopilot. And that's great. And that's the kind of organization I love. I won't naturally come up with those systems on the fly. I don't think anyone really will. So you need to put the system in place so that your organization is just automatic. It just rolls on. You don't need to think about it. You don't need to take brain space up with thinking about how you're going to organize this stuff because you have that great system. So again, that's another thing for your diary. If you have a system right now that you're like, that's terrible, it doesn't work at all, I organize by composer, but I never know which composer I'm looking for, then maybe you need to reorganize that by genre or some other way, levels, who knows. And number 5 is I want you to think about planning. And not just lesson planning, but planning for your students and planning for your studio. So I've talked about this in a couple of videos recently. If you're on the Colourful Keys page, go to the videos tab, I think it's on the left-hand side. Go to the videos tab and just scroll back a couple and you should see one where I'm talking about planning. And I talk about big picture studio planning, planning by student, and then planning your lessons. And I think that's a great system to have in place. If there's one of those stages that is missing, it really impacts all the others. None of the planning makes sense if you don't have a studio plan, a student plan, and a lesson plan. So those are my 5 business sticky, icky things that I want you to fix. Now, if some of those are sounding a bit too sticky to you, I have amazing news that I can't announce to you yet. So what I want you to do is join me and Tim Topham in the Vibrant Music Studio Teachers group. Now this is important. It's not going to be on the Colourful Keys page. So if you are not a member of that group, I want you to go join right now, apply to be a member, and I'll let you in before this happens. We're going live 10:30 p.m. Dublin time tonight. That is 5:30 EST, so most of you Eastern time zone teachers will be teaching, I do realize that. 2:30 p.m., so you might just catch us on the Pacific coast. I think that's right. We're going to be making a really cool announcement, and it is going to help you with all this business stuff and a ton of other planning related goodness in a really fun way. So I'm really excited to share that with you. So please hop into the Vibrant Music Studio Teachers group at 10:30 tonight if you can. That's my time, Dublin time, so that's 5:30 EST. And I hope I will see you there. If you can't make it live, there will be a replay in the group afterwards, so still join the group. It'll be in there. You'll see it in the videos. But I hope you can join us live, as many of you as possible. And I look forward to chatting to you then. So 2 live videos this Tuesday. But if you can't catch us then, I hope you have an amazing rest of your Tuesdays and happy teaching.